Lightweight car outside?
I got a clamshell biscuit, Mom.
Tom, that's your car?
That's my car.
One of them.
You have to look outside to see. Oh, he's parked it. This is called Ode to a 64 Chrysler. Pearl white with waterfall grill, left the assembly line March 1963, rolled off onto Jefferson Avenue in pre-ride Detroit, was presented to my grandfather in his retirement. 50 years with the company, first Hudson, DeSoto, and finally Chrysler. Vito Hugo Tremonti, or Monty as his co-workers called him, used to pick up my sister and me with Hershey's chocolate bars for the drive to Vassar, where we'd have grand Italian picnics in the park with polenta and meat sauce cooked in a black cast iron pots over an open fire. I went to my first funeral in that car for a great uncle I'd never met. The priest eulogized over his casket laid out in a khaki canvas tent in the country, proclaiming only those that believed would see the promised land. The rest would burn for eternity in hell. I cried out, I believe, amidst the silence. Later in my life, Gramps used to take us to Belle Isle, to the aquariums and greenhouses, till he was too old to drive and that car would just sit in the red and white garage behind his house. Every Wednesday when I was over at his house for dinner, I would go out back and look at it with its push-button automatic and sofa-like blue plaid bench seats, till one day Grandpa died of cancer in his 82nd year, and they draped an American flag over his casket for fighting in World War I at 15. I inherited that 2 tons of American steel, 15,760 miles, and 14 years old. I'd wash it every day, steam cleaned all 413 cubic inches of that V8 with a Hemi wedge block and Bendix 4-barrel carb. I drove it constantly, and the next winter was run off the road and just missed a telephone pole, but brought it back on the road in a spin, hit a dry patch and flipped 1.5 times. It slid on its side to a stop, and I climbed straight up and out the passenger door without a broken window or bent fender to be seen. The tow truck driver hooked it up to his winch and pulled it back down to all 4 tires with a bounce, and he stood there and scratched his head at the huge mass of unharmed metal.